The White House is freaking out over the Epstein Files again. A report just came out about the internal freakout of Trump's name in the Epstein Files. In the Situation Room of the White House, Trump's admin members, including J.D. Vance, began speaking to the people in the room, which included Caroline Leavitt, White House press secretary, and living proof lip injections are getting too big. And Attorney General Pam Bondi, who was too busy checking the Dow Jones to pay attention. And lastly, the first man to win a staring contest against an owl. Kash Patel and his right-hand man, Dan Bongino, were all in attendance. All to figure out how to squash the Epstein Files, despite Trump having more photos with him than I do with my middle school ex-girlfriend, who I also deny having any connections with. The FBI and Justice Department released a statement saying they found no connections to Epstein and the client list, which we should believe them. It's not like one of their colleagues lived next door to Epstein. That guy's definitely done a lot of evil shit in his life, but almost no one deserves that hairline. After months of arguing, Bongino then began to get angry at the White House for messing up the release of the Epstein Files. But they accused him of leaking stories to the press, which he then said he would give them all $100,000 if the journalists would name him as the source, and that he gave up millions of dollars from his podcast to work for the White House.
This is Karate Man. Double leg. The jump kick.
I will personally become the second coming of Bill O'Reilly if it means I get $1 million to be like that. And during all this, the Epstein controversy kept stirring up online. Trump was even upset about the fighting with all the podcasters, where he ended up even calling Charlie Kirk to scold him about playing into the Epstein Files, which is just offensive because
We are Charlie Kirk.
And their solution to fix this was to have Trump's lawyer and now Attorney General Todd Blanche go on Joe Rogan.
If I get fired here, whatever, I'll just go do Joe Rogan next week and I'll be fine. Anyway, I thought that was funny. No?
What?
And in one of the last meetings, they discussed evidence that came out from another Epstein victim, who definitely unrelated, but unalived herself later. That there was testimony from another Epstein victim that she knew Trump had hooked up with one of Epstein's girls and had an obsession with nipples. So they wanted that removed from the Epstein Files that would be released to the public. And this is probably the first time the government discussed nips in the Situation Room since Bill Clinton. This whole article looks bad for the Trump administration. It shows a panicked vice president and a White House staff trying to nip some evidence in the butt. See what I did there? That was clever. Please subscribe.